in there. We get all snuggled in.
There you go, and then see.
What? What?
Okay.
Coco Power Rangers. Is it
All right.
recording?
And it is
It is
recording.
recording.
Yes.
All right.
I'm glad that
Hopefully,
we
I'll just
caught
get
that
right
moment.
up in there.
hopefully John will edit that out.
No, I'm not.
All
All
right,
I think we
good.
should start the whole
All right,
show
yeah.
with that.
All right, let's get in here. Boom! All right, so here we are at Casa de Sergeant America. Definitely glad that the guys could come over. We generally are here just to talk a little bit about in the future where we're thinking we'd like our comics to go. So I wouldn't even say this is so much where we think, but just kind of from what we're feeling. I mean, where do we want our books that we're reading? Where do we want this stuff to flow into? What do we want to see? You know, books, movies wise, big two, individual, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Okay.
for me, I'm not really reading anything current. All I know is I really want Steve Rogers to get back to being Captain America and not
Right.
Hydra. That's just not a big fan of that storyline, The Secret Empire. But
yeah. Then my big question to you then is, what could a writer do right now to get you to say, I have to get a book every month?
tell a good story and actually continue it. It just seems like they're always just 3 runs, boom, now it's
All
a
right.
new story. You know, I'd like a little bit of a longer, a little more of a build up.
Sure.
You know, have the quality story to maintain it, and not always switching and doing gimmicky kind of things like, hey, we're going to reboot the universe again. Because how many times have they done that? I mean, it just
Yeah.
seems
It's
to
like
happen.
a bad D&D game, like rebooting everything.
Just
Yeah.
hit the reset
Yeah.
button, and I would just like longer story arcs that actually tell a decent story over a longer period of time.
All right. I think you might want to start looking into independent books.
I
Like
probably should.
a Remender, or like I think Black Science Run, East of West. Some of those really good storylines, really long. East of West is a Hickman, and he decompresses, so it is a long storytelling, world building kind of story. So
I might have to check that out then.
yeah, that's what I would recommend. But because right now you generally read more like trades, or I know you pick up-
I read a lot of one shots just
All
for
right.
the sheer fact that
That's like your
That-
preferred thing.
I just don't have a lot of time to read as much as I'd like to.
All right.
So I just haven't been going to the store as often. I've been trying to cut that back a little bit. So
Sure.
I don't know. I'd like to get a good one and just stick with it and read it for a period of time. So I might take you up on a couple suggestions that you had there.
All right, definitely good. John, what are you thinking? What is it?
Bring back the Thunderbolts.
They are here.
No, they've totally canceled it.
All right.
That's
Oh
it.
yeah, but it's
That's
been 12 issues though, isn't it?
That's it.
A whole year.
Yeah,
All right, but you need the ongoing.
right. I
So,
mean, the previous run was a whole couple of years.
yeah,
And that's what I miss. Again, to Ken's
Yeah.
point is that I'm really tired of issue 12 being this milestone and magic number. It's okay to cancel this and drag these fans on for a year and then you could push it,
Yeah.
you know? So, I don't know. I'm just kind of frustrated by that.
you say bring back the Thunderbolts. Were
Yeah.
you really enjoying that run?
It was cool.
Okay.
I liked it, but only because it was my characters. And
All
just
right.
seeing the later issues, yes, the first couple were a little slow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And did they change writers through it, or did they? Keep
I don't follow creators, so I don't really pay.
Okay.
I honestly don't pay attention.
All right.
Now, if the artwork suddenly starts sucking, then I'll be like, "Who is this?" And
Okay.
then I'll probably like send a mad tweet or something.
All right.
I'm just playing. I don't do that. I should though.
All right.
Uh,
and it would have to be
yeah.
Thunderbolts. You wouldn't go to Suicide Squad
Nope.
or. All right.
Nope. Harley Quinn's cool and all, you guys, but not when it's like on $20.
I understand. All right.
Like, I don't have enough money to follow her.
Yeah.
It's just too expensive.
So,
That's what the Joker said.
all right.
Yeah, that's
So
exactly what the
next year,
Oh yeah,
you
sorry.
want to
I didn't
have?
answer
No,
your
no. I mean,
question.
the original Thunderbolts is what you want.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring back Citizen V.
So
Get some Nemo on there.
all right.
You know, and he's out and about right now in the Marvel U anyways. You know, and the other thing I would like to see, honestly, like, you cancel these fun books like Great Lakes Avengers, all that. The quirky side of Marvel and some of those characters that we're sleeping on, some of them are getting their own TV shows coming up, but we can't do books about them? Are you nuts?
Yeah.
You got to relaunch it when the
Yeah.
TV show's coming out.
I
That way
suppose.
people get on the number one.
So you need to write the script for Thunderbolts,
Right.
and then there are going to be 6 Thunderbolt books that
Right.
get made at that time.
I could do that.
All right,
Yeah.
I can see
Their
that.
mission, should you choose to accept.
Johnny Hollywood.
Yep.
I hope everybody in LA
I'll be right
land.
next to Sam Humphries
Yep.
writing books. And talking about China the Poodle.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out
right.
to China.
Shout out to China. Got to meet Sam Humphries. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I would like to see books. I would like to see X-Men continue to soar upwards. So
Yeah.
we talked about X-Men Blue recently
Yep.
on a comic book roundtable. That is an amazing run so far. The thing I didn't point out about X-Men Blue, they had a young or a version of Blob in there, which was kind of funny as well, I believe.
All right.
Was it? No, it wasn't. I lied. That was a trade I read from the library. This is why I hate going to the library. Mike loves me going to the library. I get all out of order in my head.
All right.
Disregard. Nope, Blob was not in there. When I read things from different time periods,
Yeah,
then it all
yeah.
starts mishing together, and it turns into this hazardous
Was that
recipe.
from the Ultimate Run?
No,
That
it
was
was something. What's his name? Hopeless, Lawless, or
Oh,
Hopeless.
Dennis Hopeless,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was a part of it. It was an old X-Men trade, and it was just some of their
Alright.
early adventures, and it was really well done.
Okay.
And young Blob was in there, but
All right.
don't worry about that.
Well, I'll have
Anyways,
to look for that.
yeah, that's at the downtown location.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know. On the DC side of things, though, I really just want to see them continue to ride the tide with this cool Watchmen thing. I would like to have some more explanation of that. But I will say that it took them this long to drag it out. And it's kind of a cool thing that this is kind of a note that people have been waiting on. And so I think they've been doing really well with the Batman and Flash crossover event. And, of course, I love lenticular covers. So you can do all the crossover events you want. Just keep those covers coming.
I think they said they are going to do that storyline shortly. It'll be Superman and then either Dr. Manhattan or involving more with that storyline.
Yeah.
So, but without it having to touch every single book.
Yeah.
Like they're actually going to confine it to like a rebirth book.
Yeah.
And I think that's great too, because we've talked about that sometimes some of our books have suffered when they've had to be affected by big events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Batman wise, keep doing what you're doing. You know, if Snyder would just make my life complete and one, come have a beer with me, and two, go back to the core Batman book, that would be rad, but it's probably not going to happen. I just kind of miss that. We were so spoiled with New 52,
yeah.
and it's just not as exciting for me on the core Batman line. But the Joker Riddler thing coming up looks fun.
Yeah.
Issue 25 or whatever it is.
Yeah. And I believe that they are looking at doing like a Batman metal. It's going to be,
The whole
Like-
DC universe.
yeah, kind of going big, darker, I think a little bit more intense. So there was supposed to be more with that.
Is
and
it in canon? Or is it
yes.
completely separate?
Yeah, no, I think it'll be, I think it's a turn the company's taking. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
Good. They must have gotten some of my letters. About time.
So, and then, so you'll
Like
be,
a crotchety old customer over here. All right, what?
you'll be looking forward to the Batman Swamp Thing coming up then?
Do I look like John Boylan?
The Brave and the Mold? Yeah.
Is that
So,
a thing?
that's what they're calling it. Yeah. I think it's the next 2 issues is going to be Swamp Thing and
You must have
Batman.
confused with
I might
John
have to
Boylan.
pick those up just because
I'd probably rock it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Swamp Thing fan, so.
Right. Because I believe the artist is from his old book, Sheriff of Babylon. So they're looking at doing that. And then Tom King will also be writing a book, like a year-long Mr. Miracle story,
Oh.
where Mr. Miracle escapes death.
Oh.
So
That's cool.
that'd be interesting to see how that goes.
You know what I'm going to do is ask John how those issues are, and then I'll buy them if he
He's
signs off on
gonna
them.
say they're awesome.
I don't know.
I've seen the artwork at least on them. They look great.
I don't know.
So
John, don't let me down. Don't let me down.
they're gonna be so good. So good.
That's my answer to your question.
Yeah. And in future year coming up,
Yeah.
are you looking at pick up any more independent books?
No.
All right.
Why would
No.
I do that?
Because there's been a lot of them that when you started out, you and Tom would read, and you guys recommended to me, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed some of them too. So,
Yeah.
and I just didn't know if
Yeah.
that would be something else that you'd be looking at for the upcoming year or not.
You know, honestly, I want to do some work down the road with like Res Reads and some
Yeah.
of the other people on YouTube, and to do that, I know I have to read some. But my long box, like you've seen my room.
Yeah.
I don't have room.
So
I gotta collect what I love, and
Yeah.
what I love is characters.
I understand. Especially if you wanted to collect like Rez, you have to get a lot of shark books. So
Yeah.
she's got all the good ones. So
What are you saying? I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, yeah.
You're like Laffy Taffy. You got one flavor and it goes along for a while, and there's all this tutti frutti out there that is so good that you just haven't
I
sampled
know. It'll be. You know what's funny about the independent thing though too. In
Yeah.
my defense, I like reading that stuff in bulk, much like watching a TV show
Right.
on a Netflix or Hulu. So, if you know, because I borrowed what was it, Tom's run of Thief of Thieves. Love that, and I got to read the
yes.
whole
Yeah.
thing, and that was cool, or
Yeah.
as much as was
Yeah.
out at the time, and it was just nice to be able to just sit there and power through them. Because I get way more out of that when it's a book that makes you think.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel and DC, they don't do that as
Yeah.
much. They really
Yeah,
don't.
That's true.
You know, so for me, I feel like I'm catching up with my friends. Like, what's Dazzler up to this week?
Yeah.
I haven't actually said that in a few years, but you know, Jean Grey or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit of a big tube zombie, unfortunately, but that's
Nothing
okay.
wrong.
Yeah.
It rounds out the world.
Uh-oh.
All right, Mark. Let's hear it from you. What are you
Just
thinking?
Kind of along the same lines they were saying, like I don't like how like you've got Trinity going, you've got Wonder Woman going, then you'll have like Legends of Wonder Woman going, then you'll have Superman and Action Comics, and a lot of these like after a while, what do they even matter? Like I want the stories to actually impact the DC universe and
Right.
stay, and like how is Trinity tying into that? How is that going to tie into like actual DC continuity? And then you even look at Marvel and you have Amazing Spider-Man, then you have Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows.
Yeah.
And how is that going to all, do these stories even matter? And I guess it really comes down to, well, are you enjoying reading the book, yes or no? And then that's where the quality comes in. But really, I just would really like to see those stories be impacting the universe and its stick.
Yep.
And I find myself grabbing, I mean, I buy all kinds of comics from indies to Big Two and all that, and I love it, but I really find myself liking, if they're not going to take these stories seriously, I like stuff like Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, because you don't
Yeah.
take that
Oh, yeah.
seriously. I like stuff like Batman and the Shadow teaming up, because it's going to be 6 issues, and it's probably not going to impact the DC universe. I don't expect it to.
Yeah.
It's just a fun, contained story, and
Yeah.
I feel like if they're not going to take their story seriously, why should I? And I liked like a Superman American Alien. That was wacky and crazy and awesome. It was like 8 issues. And that didn't, that really wasn't continuity. So I didn't take it seriously, and I just kind of enjoyed it. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about all of the way they do a lot of things like that.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so I guess I'm the one who will suffer with this because the thing I'm missing right now is short, 6-issue runs. Because I feel, especially Marvel, it should be doing this. That there are some great characters, especially C-list, B-list, whatever,
Yeah.
that I would like to see. Yes,
Taskmaster.
6 stories. Yeah, Taskmaster.
Yep.
Do a nice 6-issue series.
Yep.
Write the whole thing out. Draw the whole thing out.
Yep.
Kick it out. 6 months. Boom, boom, boom. Don't be cutting and getting new artists or saying
Having controversial artwork.
yeah, or the first one didn't get the 20,000 sales that it needed to. Some of these aren't going to, but there's still a love out there. Just get out some of the short stories, get out some of the ideas that people can play with, that they can do things outside of continuity. Because that's what I was enjoying on certain stories is if they're not my core Thor or some of my other ones that I really like, then I really do like something really weird or different happening to them. I liked the cartoon look that they did with a 6-issue Bizarro recently. I shouldn't say recently, it's been more than a year now. But things like that. I like, just seeing that they're going to do something different, that there is, the Mr. Miracle, knowing that it's going to go a full year. And I like being told that. Then I can look for 12 issues. It'll be interesting to see how he does with Batman and Mr. Miracle both going out, with Batman having to come out twice a week. I would like to see the twice a week removed. I'm not
I hate
sold
it.
on the idea.
I hate it so much. My long boxes are like pissed off with all those rebirth banners. Ugh.
It's hard to keep up with in your readings. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Now, you were even saying, like, I haven't read stuff from weeks ago.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just can't keep up
Yeah,
with it
it's
because
hard.
they keep coming out.
Yeah.
And yeah, with Marvel, I think Marvel needs to pare down a lot of books. I think there's a lot of stuff out there, but I just know that some of them feel they have to flood the market. I mean, especially when DC re-released a whole line, and then Marvel is just kicking out whatever they can, but cutting things short or working around artists and all that. And I don't know, I think it's suffering right now. So
yeah, you know, to your point too, where I'm coming from with things being canceled, 12 issues, Great Lakes Avengers 7 issues or 8 or whatever it was. That's not communicated at the start, so they sell it like it's going to be an ongoing thing, and then they chop it based on sales. And I get that it's a business, but if you're going to do a limited run, just let us know that.
yeah,
Because we would totally appreciate that, probably way more.
yeah,
So I'm not opposed to the 1 of 6, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Because if Thunderbolts had a limited run, you bet I'd buy it.
yeah.
And get the
You just want to know ahead of time.
Yeah,
before you
I
start.
would totally love
Yeah.
it because I hate getting into something and then all of a sudden, we're canceling it.
Yeah. And with that, I would say I'm getting more on my pull list, and I'm not just trying to pull from the wall
Yeah.
if I know it's a limited run, because then I definitely want to make sure I get all of the 6 or all of the 12.
There's nothing worse
So.
than that missing one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
All right. Well, I'm thankful that everybody was able to come here.
Well, we have to talk about the future, though.
Yes, the
The
future.
future. So with that, you guys, relax. The future.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
big surprise.
Yep.
But, with that, you guys, we have Mark hanging out with us in
Yeah.
South
That's
Dakota.
awesome.
Been a longtime friend of the show. So with that, we just had to kind of send him home with a little something to say thank
Oh,
you
wow.
and remember us
Yeah.
by. So when we made our shirts for our team, we did make an extra shirt for Mr. Mark.
Oh my
complete,
gosh, guys.
So he can get his Keeping It comics on
Oh
in
my
style.
god, that's freaking amazing, man. It's like getting the team jersey here.
Yeah.
And it says Mark and has the shield on it.
That's
and so,
awesome, guys.
Bam.
Greatly appreciated.
Woo woo.
Thank you.
You bet.
You bet. Thank you. So much
John
for
put
coming
most of
out.
the blood into it, so I think
Yeah.
when you see that,
Awesome.
Yeah.
all the hard sewing that he did.
I'll
And,
definitely be wearing this on my videos.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Really
You
appreciate
bet.
that.
like we said, we definitely hope everybody who's out there comments in the video below that you let us know what you're thinking, what you'd like to see in the books ahead of you. We definitely hope that you're also making videos. We all kind of, I watched Ken and John, or John and Tom do it for the longest time.
Yeah.
I was glad when Ken jumped into it. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And then seeing the wide community, seeing Mark and other people like Rez, like we mentioned. So we definitely hope that everybody else out there make the videos. Tell us what you think also. Comment and let us know that you have videos that for us to watch. We definitely want to see all the great stuff that's out there. And looking sharp, Mark.
Rocking it.
So, I would say aloha and goodbye, but John says it better.
Ooh, I'm gonna say it, but then we're gonna close it out another way. So I'm
All
gonna
right.
say keep it comics, and you're gonna say,
Bagging and boarding's never boring.
Peace!
damn. That's awesome.